Sony boss admits forcing PC gamers into PlayStation account can invite pushback, but insists they have to keep games safe, which doesn't really track in single player. Horizon Zero Remastered is the latest PC game to require a PSN account. So this is something I have my thoughts on. I really don't like that Sony is doing this and pushing this on their games for PC because it's one of those things where it just doesn't make you want to get any of their games at the end of the day. And there's another game that was announced that is going to be coming to PC next year. I'm probably going to do a video on that within the next few days. So the fact that they're doing this is really annoying because, like it says, when it's a single player game, there's no need for it. It's not necessary. And the only reason that Sony is doing this is one, so I'm sure they can bump up their numbers so it can look like, oh, look how many players we have. And two, so that they can put their own rules into these games, which isn't necessary when you're playing on PC, especially when it's single player. If it's a multiplayer game and they want to manage how people, interact with each other, they can do that, I guess, even though I personally think that's really fucking stupid and gay. But at the end of the day, it's it's their IP, so they can go ahead and do it. But I don't agree with this, and I really don't like it. So let's go ahead and get into this article. So Sony president, COO, and CFO Hiroki Totoki acknowledged that the company's plans to push PlayStation Network accounts linking to famously resistant PC gamers can invite pushback. Rather, offering these accounts, in his words, but the company is sticking to its guns, insisting that it's essential to ensure that anybody can enjoy games safely, which isn't necessary whenever you're doing it for single player games because anyone can enjoy it safely. They can enjoy it safely regardless if it's, something that needs a PlayStation account or not. So the fact that they're making this statement is really stupid, and it's honestly just pissing me more off with Sony. At least myself, and I'm pretty sure there's others that are kind of getting in that same boat because they're overstepping their boundaries at this point. And it's one of those things where it's like, we get it. You guys won the race with, Microsoft as far as the gaming console wars and everything like that. But stop overstepping your boundaries when it comes down to PC. And I bet you anything they're doing this as well because they know that eventually, especially with the way that they've been acting, more people are going to start going towards PC. So they're still trying to get their foot into the door, and I don't like that at all. So via interpreter, Totoki discussed the company's learning in the Q&A portion of Sony's latest financial call. We have learned a lot, he begins. The way to face the issue regarding PC, for instance, the PlayStation accounts that we have offered, well, actually, by offering them, for instance, sometimes that tends to invite pushback. But for the live service games, in order to maintain order of the gaming so that anybody can enjoy the game safely, we need to create an environment conducive to that and of course enjoy the games freely, which again is stupid because we're talking about games here that aren't live service games. Again, when it's one of those like multiplayer games, that is one thing, but when you're talking about single player games here, there's no fucking need for it. And the fact that they're trying to make it seem like, oh, we're trying to do this for the players, it's like, no, you guys are doing this for yourselves and the corporation. Like, stop trying to fucking beat around the bush here. And it's annoying when they do this type of stuff and then try to like gaslight the gamers and the people online to try to make it seem like, oh no, that's we're doing this for you guys. This is to like, make sure your guys' experience is better. It's like, no, you guys are doing it for your fucking selves. Let's be real here. So having some restrictions may not call it rule, but to ask the users and gamers to follow the manner, those manners are very important, and we have to continue to seek the best way to achieve this, which is stupid because again, it is one of those things where they just want PC players to follow by their rules, but it's like they're on PC. They aren't on Sony PlayStations for a reason because they don't want to go by your rules. They want to be able to do what they can do with PC. And again, I'm not a PC player. I have a PlayStation and I have a Switch. But even as someone that isn't a PC player, this fucking pisses me off. So despite some translation awkwardness, I've kept the exact wording of this interpretation quote to avoid any potential confusion through paraphrasing, though a smoother version of Totoki's comments here might be, I maybe not call it a rule, I would however call it a rule, and we're getting to that. So again, to enforce their own rules on PC players, which isn't necessary in all honesty, but more than likely they're just trying to have it so that they can boost their numbers while at the same time managing what people can do on PC games, which is stupid. So there are a few things to unpack here, and we can use a few PlayStation PC games to explain them. Firstly, the Helldivers 2 community reportedly imploded over mandatory PlayStation's accounts leaking earlier this year after months of no strings attached fun, ironically enabled by technical issues that prevented accounts linking at launch. So, something like that. I mean, Helldivers is a little bit more understandable because it is an online game, so there are going to have people on there. But still, at the same time, if they didn't have it at the start, they shouldn't have included it later on. And they seen what happened. They pretty much killed the game after that. To this day, Helldivers 2 isn't something that like PC players have gone back to really. Yeah, they did try doing some DLC and try to adding some features, but even then, I think it went up for a little bit and then it just dropped right back down because Sony fucking ruined it, like the dumbasses that they are. This was easily the highest profile pushback to Sony's PC praxis and a rare dip for a game that's generally been a ginormous success for both PlayStation and developer Arrowhead. It was also a clear before and after moment. Players were happy and the game was seemingly doing just fine. And then accounting links chucked a wrench in, and for the outside looking in, nothing else really seemed to change. So, yeah, it's so stupid on their part. Secondly, Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered, a single player game, just came to PC. Like God of War Ragnarok before it, it requires a linked PlayStation account. There's a big old account required blurb right at the top of their Steam pages. And again, that's a God of War. That's a single player game. You're not playing online with other players. There's no need for it. Totoki specified live service games in his outline of keeping PlayStation games safe on all platforms, but that doesn't hold up in single player games like these, nor does it describe the offering account that are in fact mandatory. In fairness, this may be another translation snag, but Sony's insistence on this arrangement suggests that it wants to pump up its PlayStation Network numbers, there you go, and onboard folks for other platforms however it can. An unsurprising decision for a major platform holder, which is stupid because at that point it's just showing how fucking greedy Sony is getting now. And it's really becoming annoying. And again, I feel like at this point, even if Sony does decide eventually that they're going to come out with a PS6, I don't think I'm gonna continue on. At that point, I think I'm gonna just go ahead and go the PC route, and even then, I'm gonna have to be careful with them because of the games that they have. So I might just have to avoid playing their games overall because this shit's getting fucking ridiculous. And the fact that they know that it's causing pushback, it just shows that they don't care. So at this point, we really, as as a gamer, you have to just vote with your wallet and just show them if you guys are gonna keep doing this, then we're not gonna play your games. I mean, I may be alone in that, but it seemed like it really pissed off a lot of the PC community. So the rift between PC gamers and Sony seems to come from this sort of headbutting. Sony appears to prioritize bringing PC players under its mothership over finding independent success on the platform, and it's clearly willing to piss off a few PC gamers to do it. Playing Xbox games on PC, which are generally on PC by default and at launch anyways, is often a smoother process by comparison. Yeah, and I mean, and I get it because at the end of the day, Microsoft is mainly like a computer company kind of a thing. So, the fact that they're not going that same route, it makes more sense. But at the same time, like Sony needs to chill the fuck out in that regard because you guys are already like the major heads when it comes down to the gaming world, and don't fuck it up. At the end of the day, don't fuck it up with the PC players because the PC players already kind of give a lot of console players a lot of shit because of that type of stuff anyways, with the whole PC master race kind of a thing. And at this point, I'm starting to really see why, because Sony's been acting super stupid in that regard. So those PC gamers, meanwhile, would rather not be forced to add yet another account that they don't use in their internet footprint. I understand the argument that you only have to make a free account, link it one time, and that isn't hard to do, which that's not the point. It doesn't matter if it's hard to do or not. It's the fact that you don't need to be adding your information to Sony, who at the end of the day has had multiple times where they've gotten hacked and your information gets released. Like, are they going to actually do something to stop that? More than likely not, because it's already happened multiple times. So it's like, why the fuck would PC players want to put their information out there so that someone can hack it and get all that information on them? Like, that's bullshit at the end of the day. But it's also fair to argue that this adds a point of friction and potential failure. Hello, a PlayStation server sign-in issues, my old friend, to the process of playing a single-player game on your personal computer. Linking a PlayStation account is not quite a stone in your gut bad as Steam branching off to Ubisoft's Upplay, but it's somewhere on what I'll call the PC gaming gradient of inconvenience. Many PC players seem to want little more focus on enjoying the games freely and a little less concern on how to properly enjoy the game safely, to use Totoki's words, which is stupid. This kind of thing is generally more defensible in case of gamers like Helldivers 2 because as a platform holder, Sony is indeed obligated to oversee multiplayer interactions. But the likes of Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered muddy the water. For the time being, I reckon Sony can continue to expect more pushback, which is a good thing, in my opinion. I hope they get a lot more pushback because it's something, again, where it's just they're overstepping their boundaries and it's getting really fucking annoying. So, again, as someone that isn't a PC player, this pisses me off, man. I don't like that they're going in this direction. And I don't like the fact that they think they can go in this direction because they want to make games more safe. Like, go fuck yourself. You know what I mean? Like, there's a reason that they're doing PC gaming so that they don't have to deal with your bullshit. So I don't know. This just honestly really pisses me off, and this is coming from someone that's usually been a pretty big fan of Sony and the PlayStation console. So I don't know. It's just maybe this is just me, but as a PC player, and I feel like even some Sony players should be getting really annoyed with this because of the fact that they're really showing their hand, and I feel like at this point it's only going to get worse unless we the gamers actually take a stand against this. So those are my thoughts on that. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Do you guys think it's right that PlayStation is trying to do this to PC players? Or like me, do you think it's very stupid that they're going in this direction? So let me know what your guys' thoughts are in the comments. If you guys could like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you guys have been watching this long, I really appreciate it. It means a lot. And yeah, until next time, Harmonic out. Peace.